Do we know what today is? Today is $5 Prep Wednesdays. And I'm about to head into Walmart because we're not doing Dollar Tree today. And we're going to go shuffle around and see what we can find for our $5 preps for our Wednesday. Hi, welcome back to the Doomsday Queen, where I'm going to be taking you guys prep shopping with me for $5. And every week we add more to our bin. I'm going to tag down the previous week's video down below. And when I get home, I'm gonna go over everything that I found for $5 this week, and then next week and the week after. And I'm gonna show you how quickly you can build up your preps and your stockpile for a very tiny budget, smaller than the price it is to get a cup of coffee, cheaper than going out to any fast food. There is no excuse that you cannot prep because we do $5 Wednesdays. So let's go to it. It is going to be extremely loud inside this store, but we are going to get in there. We're going to look around and we're going to find some fun stuff for us to use. Now remember, one of the first things I always talk about is prepping your rotational pantry. Why would I be talking about that? Because a lot of people are new preppers. They're baby preppers. There's nothing wrong with being a baby prepper, but a lot of people get discouraged and say, no, I can't prep on a budget. And you can. You can absolutely prep on a budget, a really tiny budget, and start building up your rotational pantry, which is the heartbeat of your house. Hi, welcome back in where we're doing our $5 Wednesdays. You guys just saw me go into Walmart. I just came out and I'm feeling pretty good at where this $5 bin is gonna go. This is our $5 bin. This is what we've been working on since last week. And I feel like these last little few items thrown into this means that we can now expand into a different area of the pantry. As you can see behind me is my pantry, and I am a very frugal shopper when I go to the stores. So let's do a little recap of what we already have in our bin. It was all from the Dollar Tree, and then I will go over what is in our next bin of what's gonna be added into that bin. Obviously, I have one bag. It's very expensive out there. We all know food prices have gone up at an all-time high. We also understand that inflation, and we want shelf-stable food that's gonna last long-term, and food that can be multiplied and created into different types of meals, because your food pantry is the heartbeat of your home. Now, as the series goes on, I will expand way out of the food pantry realm and go into other preps that we can find for $5. But right now, a lot of people who are new into prepping and stockpiling are gonna feel a little overwhelmed. So I wanna break it down so it's not as overwhelming as it feels. Like when you see this behind me, sometimes you might be like, oh, that's a lot. What? She has spent a lot of money. I shop sales, I shop deals, I buy food my family eats. I buy also food that they would eat in an emergency if that was the only thing provided to them. I've taught my kids not to be a waste not, and they're not super picky, but you can create this on a very small budget, and it's only $5 a week. That is less than getting a coffee. That is less than going out to fast food. I mean, you can't even find a dollar menu anymore. When you go to McDonald's, what is it, like $2.19 or something? It's crazy. The cost of food is astronomically insane. So let's get into the bag, and I'm gonna start adding it into this bin, and you're gonna see how fast this bin is growing. On today's haul, I spent $5.01. Once again, Utah's got some weird taxes, 3%. It came to like $4.82, and then they added, of course, like a 15-cent tax. So I always calculate in the tax with everything. So we could have 20 cents that goes over, but everyone's state taxes, or wherever you're from, if you're from a different country, they're all gonna be a little bit different. So first up, we're gonna go into it and we're gonna talk about some of the uses, okay? Salt, this was 76 cents. Plain salt, just plain old salt, okay? Salt is amazing. It's an electrolyte. You can add it to your water. You can add it to your food. It's great for seasoning. It's great for preserving meat. You can do a lot with your salt. One of the main reasons I have a lot of salt on hand is behind me. I like to can, and a lot of my recipes call for salt. Salt is excellent to add in. Salt is super underrated in the prepping world. I feel like, you know, everyone will put out that one video about all the things that salt can do, but there is so much more. Salt is amazing. It can be used to do all kinds of different things. Not only preserving food, not only hydration, but there's even like medicinal uses with salt. So salt, plain old salt, it's about 1 pound. Yeah, 1 pound, 10 ounces of salt. That's gonna go into our bin. Next up is going to be, we gotta add some vegetables in there, okay? We can't have this bin be without vegetables. We did some great value green beans. Green beans have a very long shelf life, guys. December 28th, 2027, okay? This was 76 cents. Holy cow, I can't even believe I'm saying that because canned food used to be 50 cents and below, but now it is at 76 cents. So we had to pick one of these up. So this is just adding a little bit of variety into those meals. Once again, shelf stable, lasts for years, great on your shelf. One thing I want you to do though, when you are going to the store, you're gonna wanna inspect your cans and make sure they're not dented, bloated, got any deterioration on them. You wanna make sure that your can is solid, okay? Because when your cans are dented and it will spoil a lot faster than if it wasn't. All right, now this one is one repeat from last week, but we're gonna talk about the price in the difference of the cost, okay? This is from Walmart. It is 5 pounds. 5 pounds of rice, okay? There's about 50 servings inside of here. This is putting us at, with the Dollar Tree one from the week before, we're already at 7 pounds of rice, okay? 7 pounds of rice. This guy right here, I think he was $3.46 or $3.42. I'll have to look at my receipt, but you got rice. You got 5 pounds of rice, and then you can correlate those. You can add those up into different types of meals. You could add the green beans into it. You got a lot of variation. You're already stockpiling on some beans and rice, make a complete protein. Don't make me repeat that again. But now that we have about 7 pounds of rice, I can now readjust towards baking. So for next week, it will be different types of seasoning, baking, those kind of things to kind of pull some of these meals together. Pasta, you know, dry food, canned protein to start building this bin. But let's give a round of applause for this bin. I'm going to take you guys in a little tour on it so you can see, and I'm going to be linking the video down below of the previous week so you guys can see how quickly this starts to add up. We're only on week 2. We've spent $10 and it is coming along quite quickly, and I suspect within 4 weeks we will be almost bursting at the seams in this bin. So anybody can stockpile, anybody can create their own prepper pantry. Oh my gosh, I said pepper. Holy cow. Prepper pantry, that is the heartbeat of your home, to have a little bit of food stuck away on the side for emergencies, natural disasters, price increases, holidays, financial crises, job loss, doomsday, nukes. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, along with, you know, a grid down scenario, which this week we will be dabbling into a grid down scenario, but mine is going to be much different than others, which I'm very excited because I like to give that little twist to it. But you can build your food pantry with absolutely nothing. If you only have $5, even if it's $5 a month, that's gonna add up very quickly, because I'm gonna tell you, you will fill this bin up within a year. And you may end up with a 6-month supply of food. You don't know because you've never tested it. So don't like put yourself down because financially it might be harder for you to prep. If there's a will, there's a way. You can do so much with such a small budget. Your opportunities are endless. And I want you to prep now before food costs get even more expensive, because I could do this very quickly with about 4 or 5 years ago prices. $5 would have taken us a lot further than in 2025. Food costs are astronomical. They are hitting every single home. People are getting crippled by their food costs. So me showing you how to stock up on a very tiny budget. Please let me know down in the comments of some items you'd like to see come up on the $5 Wednesday food bin, and we're gonna go take a little tour in there, and I will catch you on the next one. And as always, stay aware, stay prepared, and always have your head on a swivel. And let's go look at that bin. I am still in shock that this is our bin in 2 weeks. For some, this might not seem like it's very much,
but you have 50 servings. You have 5 pounds of rice right here. You have another 2 pounds right here. That's 7 pounds of rice. You have ramen noodles. You have beans. You have some canned protein. You also have some canned vegetables, and you have salt. Now you're starting to expand your preps, and things are only going to get better. Each week as we look into this, it's going to amaze you on how quickly this bin will fill up. In 2 weeks, almost the bottom is filled up. Then it will start stacking and piling on, and then we're gonna start preserving this food to make it last a really long time and create ourselves our own little, I have a feeling that we'll end up with a 3-month to 6-month food supply. That's my bet on it, but if you think that it's going to be less, let me know down below in the comment section. I'm really hoping that it's going to at least be a 3-month to 6-month supply.